Ty Spiritual, and I'm back with another video, man. Simple. Now I'm gonna talk to you guys today about the war within yourself. Now, inspiration for this video came from Spiritual Pharaoh. He dropped a video yesterday, and it really resonated with me, like a lot of the things that he says. Now, if you haven't go watch that video on his channel, go check that video out. I'll have a link in the description and in the comments below. But he said something in that video that was very important. He said, I'm paraphrasing, we are in a war out here in this matrix, in this world. We know that. But you are also at war within yourself. Now, we have to understand this, understand this. Going through a spiritual awakening is not easy. It's not all sunshines and rainbows, it isn't. It's not. You are taking everything that you currently think you are and throwing it out of the window so you can find out what you truly are. All right. Now, before I continue, everybody, please stop, look below, hit the like button for me. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video as well. All right. This spiritual awakening process is not easy. There's going to be times where you feel like you're doing everything you need to do. You're at the highest vibrational frequency possible. And then there's going to be some times where you just feel like no matter what you're doing, you're still stuck. You're stagnant. You're not really motivated to do the things that you know you should be doing. These phases will happen during your spiritual awakening. Okay? Some people call that dark night of the soul. That will happen multiple times. You have to remember the most important battle you can win to help this spiritual ascension, this spiritual war that we're going through. The most important battle that you can win is the battle within yourself. And it is not an easy battle to win. It's not. People see spiritual YouTubers saying, you should go out and sit in the grass 5 minutes every day, 30 minutes every day. Put your feet in the grass. That sounds very simple. But when somebody that's new to spirituality and new to all this tries to do that, something that simple can be so hard. Just going outside and putting their feet in the grass, that can become a difficult task because they're not used to doing that. Thus meaning when they try to do that, the body will then try to get them, the mind, to revert back to what they're normally used to doing. It can be playing the game. It can be getting on social media. It can be going to play basketball. It can be those things. So it's very important also that you realize when you're teaching spirituality, you're helping others, and you may be mentoring somebody. You may be solid in your growth. You may have a strong spiritual foundation. But here is this person that's new to it. You're telling them what they should do, and you see they're not implementing it. Well, not as fast as you would like them to implement it. But again, when you're teaching spirituality or when you're helping somebody, think back to where you were at the time period when they're learning. Thus meaning this, if they just learned about spirituality a few months, and you're telling a few months ago, they've only been aware of this for a few months, and you're telling them that they should do this, they should do that, and they're not doing it, at least not as consistent as you would like. Think back to where you were 3 months into spirituality. Don't measure people where you are. Measure people where you were at the time that they are. Understand that, okay? This is not easy. This spiritual awakening is not easy. Changing the way you are from the inside out, it's not easy. I know that from experience. I know that from experience. I am not perfect by any means, okay? There's still some things I need to work on. There's still some things I need to let go. Never assume I'm perfect because I help awaken people, because I post videos. Don't assume that, because I'm not, okay? The most important battle that you can win is the one within yourself, okay? Give more time to yourself than everybody else, than everything else. Because if you are not where you need to be, how can you help somebody else get where they need to be spiritually? How? These things all go down back to the 3D. Shedding certain things so you can ascend to a higher vibrational frequency, so you can reach a higher vibrational frequency, so you can experience things that the average person does not experience. I'm not saying these things to blow your mind or to blow your imagination up. But once you do these things, once your energy start raising, you will then start becoming aware to things you are not normally aware of. All right? Eating habits is something that's going to have to change. That's something that's going to have to change. Letting go of meat, letting go of sodas, beer, these things are going to have to change, or they're going to hold you back. They're going to keep you tied down to the 3D. I've made videos on weed. I'm not going to reiterate what I've said on weed many times on this channel. But along with weed and psychedelics, and this is going to be unpopular, but I'm going to say it, you do not need any of those. You don't need any of those. Those things force an experience upon you. That's all they do. But what happens when they wear off? You come back down. You revert back to what you were before. But if you put in the inner work from the inside out, raise your vibrational frequency naturally, then you can maintain that level of awareness. A lot of people take weed. A lot of people smoke weed. And it's a getaway drug. It is. They suppress their emotions. But because they're in that moment, they're so blissful, they're so blissed out, they think they're getting over it, and they're not. That's why they keep smoking. That's why they keep smoking. That's why they keep smoking. And this is not just with weed. This is with cigarettes and other things. These are things you're going to have to let go. You want to raise your vibrational frequency as naturally as possible. Not taking substances that help boost you up to get there. All right? Now, I'm going to move on right quick to something that I really want to speak on. And this will greatly affect people that are new in spirituality. The negative side of spirituality. People posting about spirituality. People posting spiritual things. It's important that you don't blow people's imaginations up too high when you're teaching spirituality. Here's why. If I tell you I experienced this and this and this while I meditated, and then you try to meditate, the first thing your mind is going to do, subconsciously, the first thing it's going to try to do is try to recreate that experience that I told you. That's an issue. Because then when you may start experiencing these things, you can't differentiate, am I experiencing this because I'm experiencing this? Or is this just my mind trying to recreate his experience? That can hurt people. That can hurt their growth. And the sad thing is, there's a lot of channels on YouTube that speak about things in such a, how can I put this? Such a ecstatic way, such a colorful way, to the point where they don't think about the people that may come across that video. When you're telling somebody something, spreading spiritual information to them, to help them get somewhere, you almost kind of want to tell them in a dull manner, so that way you don't blow their imagination up. There's so many videos I see, and again, I'm not a fact checker. I don't go around fact checking every single video. I don't do that, okay? Because there's things that I may say incorrectly, and there's things that other people may say incorrectly. in a video. Sometimes it's accidental. But when you make a whole video speaking about astral projection and you say a bunch of things that simply aren't true, that's an issue. Speaking on things that you know aren't true is a issue. I seen somebody on a certain channel. I'm not gonna say the channel because I don't want to call everybody out or make this seem like that. No. But saying you can astral travel, jump in people's dreams, you can meet up with your friends, you can do all these things, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Dream hopping is extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. People speak of astral projection and they do it so casually. Most that I see speak on it don't speak on the negative side of it. They don't speak on the fact that if you don't get back to your body in time, you can die. The cord can be severed. They don't speak on that. They just speak on the things you can't, or what they think you can do. People talk about astral projection, and they can't even tell you the type of body that they're astral projecting out of. They don't know what the etheric body is, the bliss body, the physical body, the mental body. They can't explain any of these things, but they're talking to you about astral projection. That's an issue. Because that is something that you should not concern yourself with. You already have a body. You don't need to astral project. You don't. You can be astral projected. You're away from your body. Somebody comes in your room, they shake your body. Your body's trying to react. It wants to get up, but the life force that's powering it is detached. That can lead to heart attacks. That can lead to strokes. That can kill you. I'm not saying these things to make it seem like astral projection is this negative thing, because the natives have used it during war to figure out where their opponents were. They have. But the thing is, you don't need to do that. In this time and age, astral projection is something that you do not need to do. And that's going to be negative, but that's going to upset a lot of people. But it's the truth. I said all that to say this. When you listen to people speaking about spirituality, spiritual information, you need to be able to discern if they're telling the truth or not. Okay? I'm not saying focus on that too much, but you need to be able to discern if they're telling the truth or not, or at least if it's resonating with you. Because there's things, as you start in your spiritual awakening, you're I hate to say it like this, you're naive to spirituality. Thus meaning when you come across these flashy things that a lot of people put on YouTube, you're more susceptible to believing it, to thinking that's possible, when in reality it's not. Because somebody that's well in their spiritual awakening, they have that foundation, they can see those things and know they aren't true. That's something that I realized with a lot of the people that I used to watch. Early on, I would think, oh man, that must be possible, that must be possible. But now with the awareness that I have, I know, yep, they're lying. They're lying. The flashy things people post on YouTube gets the most attention. It does. The sad thing is a lot of those flashy things are nonsense. And it's hurting people spiritually. It is. Because their imagination is now getting blown up so much to the point where they try to go within. Their experiences are now altered and tainted by the things that they've seen. Okay? Another thing I want to address is this. Being woke is not being spiritual. This is not to diss anybody. Being woke is not being spiritual. Those are two different things. Being spiritual is being aware of who you are as life force energy. Aware that you are connected to everything. Aware that who you really are is not even on this planet. That's what being spiritual is. Connected to everything, being aware within yourself. That's what being spiritual is. Somebody can be as woke as they want to the matrix, to what's going on the outside, but be completely ignorant and unaware of what's going on within them. Okay? This woke thing has become a trend. Being woke has become a trend. And the thing is, more people are tying in being woke to being spiritual, and they're two different things. Being woke is not being spiritual. A lot of woke things are being tied into being spiritual. Just because somebody may think, people will see somebody speaking about the NBA, and they'll and how they say it's rigged, and the NFL is rigged, and politics and all these things. They'll see them speaking out about that, and then many will automatically attach the label spiritual to them, just because they're speaking out about those few things. That isn't the case. That's not the case. There's people that speak about the matrix, black people issues, politics, all these things. They're not spiritual at all. That's just all they talk about. Okay? So that's one of the last things I wanted to address in this video. But anyways, remember, the best war and the most important war that you can win is the war within yourself. And that's not going to be an easy one. Changing the way you eat is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. A few things you guys can eat. Raw honeycomb, that's great to eat. Organic fruits, the ones that have seeds, because for some reason, many of the fruit now in the markets, they don't have seeds anymore. You want to stay away from those as much as possible. Drink high pH water, Fiji water, flow water, preferably. What else? Things, look at that squirrel right there. Things you can eat. They have these things in Walmart, and I'm gonna find a picture of them and put them and edit it in this video. It's called bird's eye. Again, it's called bird's eye, but it's not made out of bird's eye, okay? It's not made out of that. They sell a lot of things you can eat, specifically these rice packs right here. And I'm not sponsored or nothing, but these things right here, you can eat these. There's many vegan meals on YouTube that you can make. And one thing that I meant to touch on was this. Being vegan and being spiritual. You do not have to be a vegan, and you do not have to be a vegan to be spiritual. You don't have to be a vegan to be spiritual. You may say, what do you mean? Are you saying I can eat meat and be spiritual? You saying I ain't got to change my eating habits to be spiritual? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, when people call themselves vegan and attach that label to them, others can see that as they're the perfect person. You're not going to be the perfect eater. You're not going to be the perfect person. You're not. Don't stress yourself out trying to be that. But just because I'm saying you're not going to be perfect, don't allow me saying that to make you feel like, okay, since I'm not going to be perfect, I can do what I want. I can eat whatever. I'm not saying that. But I don't call myself a vegan anymore because people expect perfection. And I'm not perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. You just have to be good enough. Okay? So that's the last thing I want to speak on this video. Anyways, make sure you guys are working on yourself. Make sure you guys are working on yourself. Okay? Because it's very easy. It's very easy to get tied up and caught up into the things that are going on in this outside world, the things that are going on in this matrix. It's very easy to get caught up into these things. And it's also very easy to revert back to things that you are so used to doing. Things that you know you should let go. It's very easy to revert back to those things. It is. You're going to have to push yourself. You're going to have to push yourself. You're going to have to put forth a real effort into letting certain things go that you know are holding you back. You're going to have to do that. Spiritual awakening is not easy. Activating yourself is not easy. Aligning your chakras is not easy, but just because I say it's not easy does not mean that it's impossible. Okay? You want to align your chakras, you want to get those wheels turning, do mudras, M-U-D-R-A-S, mantras. Okay? Look into what those things are. You've seen me do them many times. Look into what those things are. Those help. You can activate your Kundalini energy within you. I tell you that from experience. You can become aware to different realities around you. I tell you that from my experience. You can recall certain things from past lives. I tell you that from my experience. Okay? None of these things are things I believe. These are things I've experienced, things I know exist. Okay? So again, the most important battle is the battle that you can win within yourself. And another thing that you guys can eat, and I've mentioned this many times, pink Himalayan salt. Pink Himalayan salt helps decalcify your pineal gland. That stuff is very good. Very beneficial for your system. Okay? Anyways, thank you guys all for watching this video. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. If you have any spiritual information that you guys feel would help people, put it in the comments below. Any things that you may eat, things that you may do, put it in the comments below. All right? I love when I see you guys answering each other's questions in the comments. That shows that you guys really care. Okay? But again, understand this is not going to be easy. This is not. And for those of you guys that are new, it's very easy to get lost in nonsense when it comes to spirituality. And I hate to say it like that, but because there's so much nonsense on the internet now. People speaking things that they know aren't true. It's very easy for you guys to come across this. These meditations where you see people saying, well, you see in the title, past life meditations, those are nonsense. There's no frequency that you can listen to that'll automatically put you to that point. If you want to learn about your past lives, don't worry about it. If you want to learn and remember and recall your past lives, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. You should be focused on this life now. When the time comes for you to recall, if the time comes for you to recall those things, they'll come to you. All right? I'm going to address this. People do tarot readings. They do. Card readings. They do these things. I'm not saying that's not an accurate way to do things. I'm not saying that. What I'm telling you is, don't rely on that or other people to tell you about you. You can find out what you are by going within. You can get a lot of answers by going within. What do I mean by going within? What do I mean by that? What I mean by going within is calming yourself, relaxing yourself, blocking out the outside noise, quieting that loud ego that dwells in here, to the point where you can finally access the knowledge that the universe, that your higher self has been trying to impart to you. That's what I mean by going within. And there's various ways of doing that. Put yourself in a blissful state of mind. Naturally. Naturally. Let me get some of this salt. Put yourself in a blissful state of mind. Naturally. People do this from painting. People do this from jogging. People do it from meditation. All these are ways that you can quiet yourself. It all comes down to personal choice. Meditation is one of the main ways and the main effective ways of going within. It's one of the main ways. So again, I'm not saying these people that do tarot card readings, or I'm not saying all that is nonsense. I'm not saying that. What I'm telling you is, don't rely on that. I had a friend, and I told her, she was like, I'm doing tarot card readings so I can get better with my intuition. Well, I understand that, but going within yourself and doing inner work is a more effective way of doing that. Okay? Remember, you are most important. You are most important, and you cannot save everybody on this planet. Well, first of all, you can't really save anyone. You can only help them save themselves. But you cannot help everybody awaken. There's going to be people that don't resonate with it, and they're not going to listen. They're not. Last thing I want to address is this, and I know this is a long video, but you guys like when I post long videos. So, hunting season has came up. All right. Now let me make this perfectly clear. I grew up in the country area. I grew up around that stuff. Hunting, being outside, hearing the family members' guns go off in the woods. I've been around that stuff. I hunted as a child, killing squirrels, coons, birds, anything. Now looking back upon that now, I see the issue with it. Now if you're hunting for survival, if you're in survival mode, you gotta eat, you gotta survive. I understand that. But the thing is now, people are hunting now, and it's not about survival. It's about what they call game. It's a game. Killing and taking life is a game. That's an issue. Seeing people post dead animals on social media, that's an issue. That looks weird. Like, that looks weird. You have people out here who will say that they care about animals. They care about animals. They care about animals. They're for animals. They see a dog get hit, they'll get upset. And those same people will go out and kill a deer, take a picture with it, pose with it for Facebook, smile, cut the deer's antlers off, put it on their wall, put it on their truck. You don't care about animals. You care about pets. There's a difference. Hunting is one of the fact that we as a collective take hunting as a game, that's an issue. Because like I said, if you're in survival mode, you gotta hunt to survive. I understand that. Because on the movie Avatar, they showed you how they hunt. They needed to hunt to survive. But if you watch the movie Avatar, pay attention to how they honored that life before they took it. They'll say, "I see you, brother," and some more things. And then they take the life. They don't just hunt for game. They see everything as themselves, an extension of themselves. And that in reality is true. But sadly, people have turned it into just a game. And that's an issue. Last thing I want to speak on is this, and I really mean that. This war we're in right now is not a race war. Understand that. This is not a race war. This is not. This is not white versus black. This is not black versus Latino. This is not Asian versus black. This is not. This spiritual war that we're in right now is not about those things. It's not. It's way bigger. If you still think this is about white and black, you're still on the surface level in your awareness. Not saying that's good or bad, not speaking down upon you, but you're still on the surface. This is about rich versus poor. This is about the people that are for this planet and the people that are not for this planet. Okay? That's what this spiritual war, that's what it's really about. It's not a race war. Don't let the media sit here and make you think that it's a race war going on out here. Of course you're going to have those few people, got a plane. Of course you're going to have those few people that do negative things, say racist things. You're going to always have those people here. That negative polarity is always going to be in the third dimension. It's always going to be there. But just because a few people do that does not mean it's a race war. This is not a race war. Don't let them make you think this is a race war. Have things been done to black people? Yes. Have black people's history been tainted? Yes. Defiled? Yes. Twisted? Yes. Manipulated? Yes. These things have happened. But this is not a race war. Okay? This is a war for those that are for this planet against those that are not for this planet. Positive polarity versus the negative polarity. Okay? So anyways, I hope this video helped give you guys insight on the war within and also a little more insight on the war outside of us. But again, and this will be the last thing, I mean that. The most important war is the war you can win within yourself. Activate yourself. Raising your own vibrational frequency. That's what's most important. Not everybody else. You are what's most important. Don't run yourself crazy trying to assist the ascension. Don't do that. Don't do that, because it's very easy to do, to the point where you'll find yourself complaining about so many things so much till you'll find yourself you're focusing more so on the negative polarity to the ascension, then more so of raising your own vibrational frequency. You are what's most important. All right. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the scenery. Decided to make the video in landscape mode to kind of give it back that old vibe. But anyways, thank you guys all for watching. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. If you want another video to watch, click that video that's popping up somewhere on your screen. And if you are new to the channel, click that subscribe button that's popping up somewhere on your screen. I appreciate everybody for watching. If you watch this video all the way to the end, type in the comments below, I'll watch this video all the way to the end. Now, I'm gonna do some more on chants because I feel called to do them. Oh. For everybody that's facing adversity with this whole thing right here, for everybody that's going through the process of losing their jobs and they don't know what they're going to do with their family, stay strong. You can get through it, and you can find a way to get through it. Look into ways and making money on social media, or special talents that you have, doing hair, creating things, art. Find out what your talents are, and then try to make money off them that way. Not saying that's going to be easy, all right? But you can get through this. Don't let it defeat you. Don't let it pull you down. Don't let it make you give up, regardless what you're going through. You can get through it. Remember, in every experience lies a lesson. In every experience lies a lesson. Finding that lesson is not going to be easy. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. Okay? Don't give up on yourself. Don't get to the point where you want to take your own life. Don't do that. Because you are more powerful than you realize. All right? This is one of the toughest planets in the universe, if not the toughest to be on right now. And you chose to be here. You're here. And you have the strength to make it through. All right? Ty Spiritual signing out, bro. Simple.